guys, happy Thursday. I hope you guys are having an amazing week. If you guys are watching with a replay on Facebook Live, always let me know in the comments with hashtag replay. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, don't forget to click subscribe right here at this button and give me a thumbs up if you guys find any sort of value in this video. Now today I'm gonna give you guys 3 ways to get unlimited content ideas for LinkedIn for business. So for your business. So one, I actually got this question off of LinkedIn where somebody was struggling with creativity for content ideas. So let's just say they wanted to teach about something or they wanted something to talk about, and then you can really only think about that one topic. So for example, if I wanted to teach about social media marketing and the only thing I could teach or think of is what is social media or what is marketing, trust me, I have been there. I know that rut. So I have 3 ways where you guys can come up with unlimited content ideas that don't revolve or include content calendars. So if you guys follow me on LinkedIn already, and if you don't follow me on LinkedIn, go follow me now. It's linkedin.com/in/Kylie Francis. I give you guys daily content marketing, social media marketing, online business tips to scale and grow your following and business online. So if you guys didn't see this post, I went on this rant essentially about why I hate content calendars, and I can't stand content calendars. And I think the biggest reason why I hate them is because they limit your creativity. You start assuming instead of asking and engaging with your audience. And the problem with this is when you just assume that people want to hear what this content calendar says. Remember, whoever created that content calendar, and if you don't know what a content calendar is, it's just essentially like this month-long planner where it gives you idea prompts for your business. So for example, one day it could say, post a motivational quote. The next day, if it's Tuesday, it could be like, post a transformational picture. It just depends what your niche is, right? So essentially why I hate content calendars is because the person that created the content calendar doesn't know your audience like you do. And the reason why people rely on content calendars is because they lack the creativity to think of a post. And the number one reason why this happens is because you're not supporting your audience on the social media channels. So I'm gonna go into 3 ways that you guys can have unlimited content ideas for LinkedIn for your business. The 3rd tip is my favorite, so stay tuned for the 3rd tip. So the first one is to simply write one valuable post and then ask your audience what they thought about the post, or ask them if they have additional questions, and it can be around like, what did you guys think about this post? What are your thoughts on this? Do you guys have any more questions? Let me know in the comments. So I'm going to discuss what a call to action is, because I see a lot of people not including this, not just on LinkedIn, but also on Facebook, Instagram, insert social media platform here. A call to action is simply when you tell your audience what to do or an action you would like them to take. And it can be at the end of the post. It can be in the middle of the video. You guys see in the beginning of all my YouTube videos, I say, if you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments with hashtag replay. If you guys are watching on YouTube, don't forget to click subscribe right here at this button and give me a thumbs up if you guys find any sort of value in this video. That is a call to action. I am telling you that to remind you that if you find value in the video, give me a thumbs up just to show that appreciation back. So it's a win-win for us both. So the same thing should be included in your LinkedIn post. This actually goes for any social media platform. When you deliver one valuable post, what I see a lot, especially on LinkedIn, is that people are so rushed to say, you know, the 1, 2, 3, like your typical guru post where it's like, okay, you want to lose weight, 1, 2, 3. And then they press submit, run faster than Forrest Gump away from the platform. And then when they log on the next day, they're like, oh, I got, 2 likes and no comments. And it's because you're not asking for engagement. So when you ask for engagement in the form of a question, so you're asking them, what did you think about this topic? Do you have additional questions? Not only does that show that you're there to support them, because you should, and when they ask you a question in the comments, not only can you elaborate on that topic as you're replying to the question, but that question, along with your answer, can literally be another post topic. So I do this all the time. This is why I love answering people's questions. I tell you guys on all of these live streams, if you guys love what I'm saying, if you guys have any questions, I'm always open to questions, because when you're open to questions, not only do your ideal clients like it because you're there supporting them, but then you know what they need help with. So when you go and create that post that's a question, so if you follow my value answers a question rule, you'll always have valuable content. Value answers a question. I covered this in, I don't even remember which video, but I'm going to link it up here. It's my how to build a LinkedIn profile for success or something like that. I know I discussed it in one of my LinkedIn videos, but I'll just link that up there on YouTube. And what value answers a question is that what a lot of times happens is when people create content, not only do they struggle with creativity, but then they second guess their content because they don't think it's worthy enough. And if you follow value answers a question rule, which is what I came up with, is that if you're answering somebody's question, your content will always be of value. Okay, so answer or create one valuable post. You guys are all experts that are watching. You guys all have a business. If you don't know what to write about an FAQ that a lot of people have, frequently asked question. You can think of one topic, okay? Write that post, but don't forget at the end of the post, include that call to action. When you include the call to action, somebody will comment. If nobody comments, keep posting, okay? That's why I'm giving you 3, because if no one's commenting and you're sitting there, we're like, no one comments on my post. Well, try it. Try including calls to action. And if you stay tuned till my tip number 3, I'm going to give you, that's my favorite tip, and that's going to help you. This isn't even going to matter if you don't get comments on your posts. So like I said, when you answer their questions, that in itself becomes another topic. I do this all the time too, and I don't want you guys to get in this rut as well, is that don't underestimate the power of a question, right? Because if you're, an expert in what you do, if you're at this, let's just say you're a PhD in social media marketing like myself, okay? Let's just say you got your PhD, you're up at this level, right? There are a lot of people that are still learning the ABCs. So if somebody asks a question that sounds so simple that you can answer in 2 to 3 words, that's fine, but don't underestimate that value, okay? So like I said, a lot of people lack creativity for posts or underestimate the value because it was really easy to answer the question. I get in this rut all the time because for me, it's easy to answer the question because I've been doing this for 9 years. But if I go back to somebody that's just starting their journey, this is going to be difficult for them to understand. So like I said, don't underestimate the value of a question. And like they always say, when they teach you this back in elementary school, no question is a dumb question. So like I said, when you answer their questions, they in itself can be their own topic. So the second tip that I have for you guys is brain dumping, okay? This is like a Dear Diary session. So what you're going to do is you're going to take out that Dear Diary, right? You're literally going to write Dear Diary. No, I'm just kidding. Take out your notebook, take out a pen, and just start writing. It's literally called journaling. Start writing out whatever comes to mind. And like I said, if you're an expert in what you do, if you're a daily practitioner, this could be a conversation that you randomly had with somebody. This could be something that happened throughout your day that you can relate it back to your business. Like I said, this could be an FAQ about your business. Just start writing topics down. Brain dump. I say that for a reason, is that you can write them anywhere. It can be a one-liner, it can be a paragraph, it can be a word. And if it is a word, you can umbrella from that topic, okay? So if I'm talking about LinkedIn, let's just say I want to write about LinkedIn. I'll start with LinkedIn. Okay, what about LinkedIn? Marketing, content, messaging, who to connect with, who to follow. I'm coming with, this is brain dumping. This is literally what I think of. LinkedIn stories are coming out soon. How am I going to use LinkedIn stories? How can I teach people how to use LinkedIn stories for their business? These are all going to be video topics that I'm going to come out with once I start utilizing LinkedIn stories. They're not out yet, but when they come out and I get to practice it, I can see what works best for me and then come on a video and discuss. That's how all of my live streams are. So brain dumping is so powerful because what a lot of times what happens is you just need to get it out. It's like any idea you have, you shouldn't let it linger in your head. And you don't have to use a notebook per se with a pen. Take your phone out. I do this all the time. Whenever I could be randomly walking on the beach, or I could be in line at Starbucks, got my Starbucks right here. I could be in line at Starbucks and I could just hear a conversation, happening behind me, or I can think of something randomly. I always write down ideas. And why that's powerful is because you're getting the idea to paper. And when you get that idea to paper, you don't have to think of what you thought of before. And then you come up with all of these content ideas. And this goes back to what I said before. Don't underestimate what you have to deliver. Don't underestimate the perspective that you have on a certain topic. Even if it's been said before 1,000 times, even if whatever, who'sy, whatsy, queen of LinkedIn land already did a post about it, give your opinion, okay? Because when you do that, that's when the power and magic happens. That's how you start attracting the people you're meant to serve. Because if you keep doing cookie cutter, 1, 2, 3 guru style that everyone's already, read, listened to 1,000 times, you're gonna have difficulty standing out. So again, that goes back to why I hate the content calendars, is because they emphasize that behavior. It's like, it makes you cookie cutter because the prompt is cookie cutter. And another reason why I want to, dive so deep into content calendars is because if you're a CEO and a business owner and you're going to hire social media managers and you're going to hire somebody to do the social media management for your business, this is one of the questions I would definitely ask them. Be like, what's your methodology around creating content? Are you documenting? Are you helping us create real-time content? Or do you just push it off over into HubSpot or Sprout Social where it's like, okay, set it and forget it. So you're paying them a full-time salary for them to do, 5 minutes of work for a month, and they're just sitting there on TikTok learning TikTok dances for themselves. Okay, you probably never even thought about that. But remember, as I'm telling you this, as a marketing consultant, not only is it for your own personal brand, but if you go to hire other people, this is also crucial as well. So the third and final tip, before I get to the third and final tip, if you guys are loving this video, I would appreciate if you guys gave me a thumbs up on YouTube, Facebook Live, and don't forget to click subscribe right here at this button. If you guys want to stay tuned for social media marketing tips, content marketing, you guys get my drift. Do you guys see how I gave you guys a call to action? Okay, I'm telling you guys what to do, and that it's not that, and another thing too is don't feel guilty for asking people to do something. This is another thing that I see a lot, or another question that I get a lot in terms of, I feel weird asking for them or for questions or asking them what they think about something. But the whole point of showing up is to be a person of support. So you're helping them more in the comment section. But what I was elaborating on with tip number 1 is when you help them in the comment section, that is going to spur into topics for your next post. So this goes into my favorite tip, number 3. And this is if nothing else works, if you hate brain dumping, if you can't think of one thing to write about, which would be, kind of alarming if you were an expert or if you own a business. But tip number 3 is go support other people's content before you write your own content. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Go support other people's content by leaving your valuable comments on their content before you create your own content. Now, how does this help you, and why is this my favorite tip? Because sometimes we can get so in our heads. Maybe we do have a ton of ideas we want to, write about, but we can't pick one out of the 100, right? Maybe we have a ton of topics or niches. Maybe we brain dumped and we have for example, social media, marketing, digital agency, insert niche here, right? And you just don't know what specifically they want to know. It's more of that limiting belief that whatever you're going to say isn't good enough. What I love to do is if I'm ever in this rut, and this does happen to me still, it happens to everybody, what I do is I go and support either, since we're talking about LinkedIn, my connections content. I go to the influencer's profile, so it could be somebody that I follow, not just connect with, and just see what they are writing about. And then I read the comments in those sections. And not only that, I don't stop there. I see where I can deliver my value. This boosts my confidence because I'm helping somebody out. They appreciate it because I help them out. But not only that, I just left a valuable comment on somebody's profile, right? I just helped somebody out. And what was the rule I told you earlier? Value answers a question. When you go out there on the internet and you start supporting, not internet, LinkedIn, but the internet, right? Social media, when you go out there and you become a supportive person, you're always going to have unlimited content ideas because you're helping other people, right? And the second you help other people is the second you're answering their question, right? So obviously, I'm not talking about answering a question and leaving like hundreds of emojis. I'm not talking about, saying cool or saying, great post or whatever. I'm talking about actually elaborating on their question, on somebody else's post that you can leave value on without one-upping the original poster, but it's actually going to spark that creativity in your brain, right? So if you haven't already, I did a whole nother video on LinkedIn connections versus followers. I'm going to link that up here on YouTube, and that goes all through. If you're kind of like, well, I don't know who to comment on. I don't know where to find these posts, whatever. I go through that in that video, how to find who to follow, how to networking on LinkedIn. I think it was 3 tips that I gave as well about networking on LinkedIn. And what you're going to find is when you start supporting other people first, you're just like all of these, like you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I love that topic. Oh my God, I forgot about that topic. Like I did that, or I was doing that, or I thought about that 6 months ago and then I forgot to write it on my phone and then I just thought of it again, right? And when you start supporting other people first, and like I said, before you create your own content, right? It's not about us, it's about them. So the problem too is when people go and create content on LinkedIn, it comes from a me mindset. So what they do is, what do I want to write to get the most vanity metrics for myself, to get engagement, to get more followers, XYZ 1, 2, 3. When you really should be asking, how can I help them? How can I answer a question one of my followers could have? If they're not telling you from tip number 1, what would they want to learn from me? So I can show my experience so they can rely on me to grow the know, like, and trust factor so they know that I'm here for them, right? So it's not about us, it's about them. So like I said, for tip number 3, if you go out into your connections, which are hopefully some of them are your ideal clients, hopefully the people that you're following are influencers in your niche, and you see topics that they are talking about that other people have additional questions on, you can answer those questions. And then when you go and help them in the questions, you take that value answers a question, take literally the comment you just wrote, and you go elaborate on that in your post. Now, I know some of you guys are going to do this, so I'm going to do a sound the alarm, beware. Okay, this is what you don't want to do. You do not want to take somebody else's post and elaborate on what the person said on that post. Unless you're saying, I got this inspiration from this person and I wanted to elaborate this on my own words because I was inspired by that person. We're not copying here, okay? We're not going to somebody else's post, seeing what they're writing about and then writing it again. That's not what we're doing, okay? What we're doing is that we're helping people in the comments that want an elaboration on a certain topic. It's gonna sound the same, but what I don't want you guys to do is to be like, okay, I'm gonna scroll the newsfeed and see what topics are about, and then I'm just gonna write about that topic, okay? only write about stuff that you know about. Only write about things that you have experience in. Only write about things that have to do with your business. Because the problem is that if you're seen as somebody that just, not just copies and pastes somebody else's work, but if you go and you like literally write the same thing that somebody else wrote about, that is going to ruin your relationships faster than you might as well just not post at all. Okay. So use it as helping other people in the comments, taking your comment about what you elaborated on because you have experience in it, and then crafting that as another post. This isn't about, ripping off somebody's post or one-upping somebody else. That's not what this is about, okay? So I'm going to go over my 3 tips again, not 4, 3. So if you guys have any questions in the comments, let me know. So the 3 tips that I have for you are: 1, write about one valuable post. Think of one thing and then include that call to action. Call to action should be in all of your posts. So you want to include that call to action in your post. What's the call to action say? Ask them if they have any additional questions. Ask them what they think about this post. Ask them, hey, if you guys are loving this and you have, if you have anything that comes to your mind, let me know, because I'm going to be answering every single question or comment that you guys write in the comments. Let them know that. Let them know that you're going to answer their questions, because what helped me stand out on LinkedIn a lot is I love answering people's questions, like is what I said earlier in this video. And what helped me stand out, and I've had many people comment on this, they would say, Kylie, you have a lot of followers, but you will answer everybody's question. And I'm like, yeah, because I care. If you care about people, you will stand out leaps and bounds against all of the other influencers on a lot of social media platforms. Because what happens is everyone gets these egos. They pass like 5,000 followers. They think they're the king of the universe. And they're like, don't touch me. Don't look at me. I'm just going to post and you better like my content. That's how people look like that they act online. So if you go in and you tell people, hey, I'm going to be answering your questions, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I answer every single question, right? So if you include that simple call to action at the end of every valuable post, you're more inclined to get engagement. And not only that, like I said, if you answer people's questions in the comments, each one that you answer can be a follow-up post, okay? Tip number 2 is brain dumping. So like I said, this doesn't have to be like a sit down Dear Diary. I said Dear Diary earlier, but it doesn't have to be a Dear Diary session where you block out an hour of your day to think of content ideas. That's actually probably how you're not going to be able to think of anything. It's going to be a throughout the day. Like what happens during your day? Like maybe something just happened that has to do with your business and you're like, oh my gosh, this would make a great post topic to get across a certain point. Write it down. Write it down in your phone. You can use a notebook. The back of your hand, like when I was a swimmer, when I was 8 years old, we would write our like heat number and lane number on our hand so we wouldn't forget. Write it wherever you want, right? And then when you start writing it down, you're not, frantically thinking of whenever you post during the day, oh my God, I don't know what to post, so I'm not going to post. Okay. You'll always have something to post if you always have something to teach, because value answers a question. Okay. So the third and final tip, which is my absolute favorite, is if you can't think of one thing to post, if you can't brain dump and you're just kind of sitting there like, help me. I need a sign. I need a bird to fly over, like carrier pigeon with a flag telling me what to write, right? Just, wave the white flag, go over onto LinkedIn, start scrolling the feed and just start helping people. It's really that simple. Start helping people, start leaving valuable comments. When you leave that valuable comment, that becomes a topic for your next post. Don't overthink it. Don't think it's not valuable. Don't think, this was already said and done before. Remember, you're growing your own personal brand, which is the face of your business. And even if it isn't the face of your business, you have to stay consistent online. So something is better than nothing. Even if it's like a couple sentences, even if it's a 15-second video, it's better to post than not to post. So don't underestimate the value that you can give on social media. So those are my 3 tips. That's what I think. If you guys love this video, if you guys love these unlimited content ideas, let me know in the comments. And if you guys try the content ideas and you're just like, oh my gosh, if you kind of had an epiphany during this video, and you're like, wow, why didn't I think of that before? Let me know in the comments. I love when you guys tell me that you implement what I teach and it works like it should. This is what I do. So it works for me. Hopefully it works for you. Maybe not 100% of the time, but I'm hoping 99% of the time. So if you guys use any of these tips, let me know in the comments. If you guys love this video, I'd love if you could give me a like on YouTube, like on Facebook Live, click subscribe right here at this button if you're watching on YouTube. And if you guys have any questions related to social media marketing for your business, always let me know in the comments, because your question could quite literally and anonymously be the topic of my next live stream. So I hope you guys have an amazing weekend, and I will see you guys on the next live stream. Bye, guys.